21 assists on 33 made baskets in that game, and Fields had 7 of those helpers. Officials tonight, Roger Ayers, Doug Shows, and Joe Lindsay. And it will be Louisville controlling the opening tip. Cardinals at 4-5, coming off a road loss to DePaul. And possession number 1 results in a turnover. Starting lineups for Arkansas State. Isaiah Nelson had a career-high 17 last time out. DeAndre Dominguez, 3 double-doubles in 10 games. And the team's leading scorer, Taron Todd, will come off the bench.
Right out of the gate, a turnover for Louisville. And went off that loss to DePaul on the road, and they started off very sluggishly in that game.
Arkansas State opens the scoring. It is Freddie Hicks. Starting lineups for Louisville. Mike James, returning starter from last year, had 18 last time out. J.J. Traynor still out with that shoulder. And the freshman Tyler Johnson making his first career start. Nice touch on the inside by the big man, Brandon Huntley-Hatfield.
They've got to get established some inside. They have a size advantage at some spots up front. They need to go low first.
Dominguez has his 3 batted out. Here comes Trey White. He lost it. Another turnover by Louisville. They do get it back. Clark tries to save it and throws it off Dominguez.
Louisville on the season is minus 21 in assist to turnover ratio, and that is a bad sign for a basketball team. And it's hard to develop that during the year. You've got to find some sort of identity where you run things through your guards, and the guards for Louisville have to be better at ball handling.
And Tim, they play a Red Wolves team that only has 8 turnovers in the last 60 minutes.
That's quite a thing, because now Louisville, their 3rd turnover here in the first minute and a half.
Their head coach, Kenny Payne, a Louisville alum, he had some strong words for his team after the loss at DePaul. He said, it felt like we played for ourselves and not each other, and that's a problem.
Kenny Payne's not going to mince any words. He knows there's a lot of pressure on him to get this program back to where these fans want them to be, and losing to DePaul on the road, because this is a very poor DePaul team so far this season. Another turnover.
That's 4 the other way. Freddie Hicks for the easy 2, and right now Louisville at home just sloppy in the opening 2 minutes. And you saw Tyler Johnson look over at Kenny Payne. Do we need a timeout? They do not. Johnson drops it off. Nice move by the freshman to get it to Huntley-Hatfield.
You don't need a timeout. You were just in the locker room 5 minutes ago, and you don't come out ready to play. And this is what Louisville's been the problem as of late, and they better be careful. Arkansas State has a lot of energy. They're used to playing on the road, and they're playing with some confidence early.
They do not have an answer for Huntley-Hatfield, who's got all 6 for Louisville.
Well, that's just way too easy, though. Huntley-Hatfield just posted up, carved his space out on the box, and no resistance from Louisville.
Strong move inside by Caleb Fields, 5th-year senior and a 5-year starter. Tyler Johnson, the freshman, a top 100 player. There is talent on this roster. They've got a half dozen former ESPN 100 players. A rebound to Dominguez.
Huntley-Hatfield's got good post moves down low. You can see if they can go through him, but Louisville does not run back on defense.
Isaiah Nelson makes them pay. Sky Clark, 55 in black, Louisville's leading scorer at 17 a game. They'll play through the post again. There's the double. Johnson has Clark in the corner. Against the trees, Huntley-Hatfield left it short and able to draw the foul, and that is one thing Louisville does well, get to the free throw line. Brian Hodgson, the first-year head coach at Arkansas State. He has followed Nate Oates, first at Buffalo, then at Alabama, known as one of the top recruiters in the SEC while he was there. Played and coached in the JC ranks, and looking to get this team to the NCAA tournament, which has only happened once in program history back in 1999.
He's doing a good job of getting this program where they need to go. The Sun Belt's a very good conference, as we know, and James Madison ranked currently in the top 20, making their mark, but I think Arkansas State's got a winner in Brian Hodgson.
Here comes Trey White, the USC transfer. Batted around, it comes to Dominguez. 10 points, 10 rebounds in the win against UAB over the weekend. Arkansas State has hit 4 of its first 7. A lot of contact, no foul. Dominguez catch and release. And the ball batted around. It comes to Tylor Johnson. Johnson from 15. And Tim, those are the type of shots that Kenny Payne would rather not see. He would rather see his offense get into the flow, move the ball around. Didn't happen on that sequence. 15:32 to go, first half. Red Wolves up 2 on the road.
SoFi is helping me get my money right to achieve my ambitions.
Kuran Davis appears to have come to an end. He was a junior college transfer who Louisville gave a scholarship to in the offseason. Today, the school first released a statement saying Davis intends to transfer. Now, Davis was in attendance for the women's game earlier today, and he refuted the school's assertion. This was his statement. He said the fact that an official statement was released giving false information is disheartening and sad. And then about 90 minutes before the tip, Louisville put out another statement saying that Davis was informed earlier that he had been dismissed from the men's basketball team. The entire ordeal has been wrapped in multiple shrouds of mystery, and it appears this is the end of the Kuran Davis saga at Louisville.
Well, you don't want a cloud hanging over your program, so when these things happen, it's best just to disconnect and move on, and it seems like he was not with the program, and it hurts as a coach because you know it's a talented player, but in the long story of it can hurt your program if he's not on board.
Here comes Trey White, all Pac-12 freshman team a season ago at USC. That was the team that made the NCAA tournament, and again, just more sloppiness from Louisville, Tim.
Well, it's too much one-on-one basketball, too much dribbling, one guy dribbling, 4 guys watching, and when that happens, the defense just collapses on the dribbler and cuts off passing angles, and then you have turnovers.
Kenny Payne telling us earlier today, this team has to buy into we, not me. As that time they left the back door open, and Arkansas State makes them pay. And Kenny Payne is challenging his veterans, the transfers with experience like Clark and White. And then the holdovers, guys like Mike James, J.J. Traynor, even though he's not in the lineup and is out with an injury.
Sometimes when you put new pieces together that fits, and sometimes like Oklahoma has done this year, and sometimes it takes a while. And Kenny to be saying that here in mid-December, that's an issue. The me over we factor.
Mike James with the basket for Louisville. Arkansas State does like to attack early in the shot clock. Now we're below 10. Fields guarded by the freshman Johnson. Picked up on the switch by Okorafor. Drives to the basket. Tipped up. And the rebound by the big fella, Emmanuel Okorafor. Explosive first step by Johnson. And 2 free throws coming.
When you're overplayed, you've got to take advantage and go backdoor. And not enough ball pressure on the perimeter, and perfect pass at the rim.
The foul is on Caleb Fields. Johnson, an ESPN 100 recruit. Last time out against DePaul, played 30 minutes, 12 points, 5 assists. Kenny Payne telling us this freshman class of Johnson, Caleb Glenn, Curtis Williams, maybe even Dennis Evans, if he can get healthy. he hopes they can become significant contributors once Louisville gets into conference play.
Well, Johnson is one guy that can come into the lineup and run the team and more efficiently than others. He's got a decent assist-to-turnover ratio, which pretty much every other player that gets significant minutes does not. And there you see another issue for Louisville, just too easy.
12 points in the paint for Arkansas State after the basket by Nelson. Red Wolves 0 for 5 from three-point land. And again, getting the basket, the block by White. White pushing. Missed the layup. The rebound to Avery Felts.
You know it's going to be fast-paced. Arkansas State is going to do that. Push it and launch it.
Caleb Fields, the three-pointer. Career 31% from 3, 7 of 14 on the young season. Clark, the Illinois transfer, directing traffic, a former top 30 recruit. Started 12 of Illinois' first 13 games last year before leaving. 3 doesn't go, comes back to Clark, new 20. Huntley-Hatfield against a double team, and he gets 2 shots.
Well, you know, obviously that's their game. They're going to shoot it quick. On that last possession, it was 1 pass and a shot they missed, but Arkansas State has to be concerned because Louisville is a very good offensive rebounding team.
Caleb Fields just picked up his second foul. Tim, the one matchup Louisville seems to have early on in this game, down low with Brandon Huntley-Hatfield.
Yeah, he does a good job of moving without the ball. Sometimes they ignore him. You know, when you come down and make 1 pass and take a contested shot, I mean, that's not getting your big man involved. You have to put more pressure on the defense and make them work and take what the defense gives you. And the 1 pass and a shot offense will not cut it.
Here's Taron Todd, 6 in red with the ball, the leading scorer for Arkansas State. Open 3, front rim, offensive rebound, Nelson. Felts is a sharpshooter. Dominguez from the corner, and he knocks down the triple.
Arkansas State started this game out, Anish, by dribble driving to the rim, getting pretty much whatever they wanted, and then in transition, they are going to push it and let it launch.
SoFi is helping me get my money right to achieve.
Arkansas State, he subscribes to the analytics model, which tells you a good shot is a 3, a shot in the paint, or a free throw. And one of the things that you have seen with A-State this year, Tim, the vast increase in three-point field goal attempts. Almost 45% of their shots are threes.
Well, this is Nate Oates' system, and there's no doubt about it. It's been very, very successful since he was at Buffalo and then went to Alabama. So Brian's going to stick with what he knows because that's been successful. And this is what a lot of college coaches are doing these days. I mean, not only they're trying to take that, but they're also taking that away. A lot of teams are gearing their defense and taking away the 3, taking away the shots at the rim, and giving you that contested mid-range shot.
Let me play devil's advocate for a moment. So defenses also know that. They get Ken Palm. They get the advanced analytics as White will get the 2 on the goaltend. Is there something still to the mid-range game?
Well, there is, of course, but we all know, we learned this in first grade math in East Shroff. At least we did in upstate New York where Brian grew up. 3 beats to 2 every time.
Here comes Todd. The turnaround. Too much. Out of bounds. It will stay with Arkansas State.
Well, the NBA is geared there game towards this as well. I mean, most NBA teams average somewhere between 30 and 40 threes attempted a game, and I know the Celtics, they don't mind taking 50 threes in a game. So this is the way of the modern game. But I still think you need a balance.
Well, you got to defend the post right there. Isaiah Nelson wide open.
Just a lack of communication defensively for Louisville on that last possession. Just not matched up in the half court.
Curtis Williams, another freshman, misfires. And that one goes off the foot of Freddie Hicks.
Well, Arkansas State's going to space the floor. They're going to move the ball quickly up the court, but then they're going to reverse it. And you see Louisville just not matching up on the backside at all. Lack of communication.
This is Danilo Jovanovic, the Miami transfer, just his second game. I'm sorry, he played one game with Miami last year during the redshirt season, a lefty. Here comes Freddie Hicks over to Feltz. And now A-State throws it into the backcourt. Over and back. Jovanovic swatted, and Mike James is fouled. It'll be against Arkansas State. This is a Louisville team that excels at getting to the free throw line. They average 20 made free throws per game.
A forced issue here to the rim, and Arkansas State does a good job of protecting, but this is what Louisville does best, is hit the glass on the offensive end.
Second foul on Nelson. Williams puts it on the floor. A lot of dribbling. Now James got Dominguez in the air, and he's able to draw the foul. So Mike James, former top 80 recruit, a redshirt sophomore, to shoot 2 free throws.
At the line for the Cardinals, Mike James, he'll shoot 2.
That's the one thing Brian Hodgson said. He said, you've got to keep him off the glass and off the free throw line.
Saturday, get geared up. It's the start of bowl season. We've got a college basketball quadruple header on ACC Network. A couple of our featured matchups, Vermont and Virginia Tech at 4 Eastern. Northeastern against 22nd ranked Virginia follows at 6 Eastern. Fields playing with the 2 fouls, over to Todd. Steps into a 3, and the rebound to Clark.
It was a good possession defensively for Louisville. Had good pressure on the ball and a good contest.
Clark knocks down the 18-footer. There's the long start of the mid-range game.
And Brian Hodgson not happy. His team kind of came back on their heels, never got organized defensively.
Clark picking up Fields near half court. Ford driving into the paint, and the rebound to Curtis Williams.
Arkansas State having some issues trying to finish in traffic.
Here comes James, dips inside, tipped up, knocked out of bounds, and stays with the Cards.
Now Arkansas State's guards have to try to get involved in the paint a little bit more on the glass because Louisville's guards are doing a good job of keeping it alive.
Clark the catch and shoot. He's got 4.
He's so hard to defend when he's coming off those screens because he's quick, he's fast, he's got that quick release.
7-0 run for Louisville. Hicks twisting inside for 2. Grad transfer from Tarleton State.
Cody Hicks still trying to get up to speed with the speed of the Arkansas State offense, but that was a nice move in the lane.
Williams looking for help, nearly lost it. Clark asking for the pick, gets it from Huntley-Hatfield. Now steps into a 3, too strong. Offensive rebound to Louisville. Now some good ball movement. Williams from the wing. Kenny Payne will take that just because that was probably the best movement we've seen all night from Louisville offensively.
Well, they're trying to beat everybody off the dribble, but that time it was with the pass. They had the floor space, they reversed it and got an open shot.
Clark this time trying to go solo. Loose ball. And Sky Clark right there on cleanup duty.
Sky Clark is everywhere on the offensive end for Louisville. That time doing the dirty work on the floor.
Ford traveled, will step aside. Louisville has pulled even at 22 with 6:42 to go in the opening half. Arkansas State comes into this game looking for its first win against a power conference team since they beat Mississippi State back in 2014, almost 9 years ago to the date. Louisville 3-0 all-time against Arkansas State, and Tim, small victories. If the Cardinals win today, that's 5 wins on the season, 1 more than they had last year during that forgettable 4-28 campaign.
Well, they've had some close misses this year, so to speak. So they have taken a step. And I know the Louisville fans are not excited about that because that's what the program is such high stature. But when you're trying to build a program and take over, sometimes you have to take small steps before you can take big ones. And played well against Texas and Indiana early in the season. Decent road game at Virginia Tech. Very disappointing, though, the game at DePaul.
And you know this as a former coach. Coaching stability means so much. And for essentially what seemed like forever, this program had 2 coaches. It went Denny Crum, it went Rick Pitino. Since then, there has been considerable turnover at the head coaching spot.
Well, Kenny Payne was highly regarded as assistant not only with John Calipari, but in the NBA. And he's learned under some great ones. He was a great player. He's a winning player, a winning person. So I believe he's going to figure it out. I'm not sure it's with this team, though. This team right now they're kind of scattered. They don't really fit well. Maybe he can overcome that. But when you need to overcome something like that, when you don't fit well offensively, you've got to get gritty on defense. And right now, they're not very gritty on defense.
You look at what they lost, 8 players from last year. They did bring back 3 starters and then brought in a talented freshman class and some impact transfers. When you think of guys like Trey White and Sky Clark, those were 2 of the most coveted players in the portal.
Well, sometimes, though, when you bring back 3 starters from a team that won 4 games, that's not always a good thing. So there's a reason you only won 4 games. Those guys were a big part of it, unless you can change their attitude on trying to teach them how to be winning players.
They passed up on the 3, drop it off down low, out of bounds. Ledoux-Lacou's shot was blocked. One of those players who is a newcomer, Curtis Williams, had the basket at the other end for Louisville. Felts takes almost all of his shots from behind the arc. Hicks pretzels inside. Over the trees. Offensive rebound. It's LeCoux.
Oh, good job by LeCoux. And Hicks got all the way to the rim. Louisville did a good job of converging, but then on the backside did not rotate down on the rebound.
Jovanovic hands off to James from 15. Back to Louisville.
The other piece of this, Anish, is because of the doldrums of the program, they've lost the home court advantage that they had, which was so great in this building. And when you don't have that, these sleepy December nights against, in a guaranteed game against a team that is 3-7, sometimes you need the fans to lift you up a little bit, but that's not the case.
And Kenny Payne has been asked about that, and his response has essentially been, hey, we got to win these fans back. It's been some tough times. When this place rocks, and you and I have both been there, it's as good an environment in college basketball as you'll find.
Absolutely. And for years, not only this building, going back to Freedom Hall.
Yep.
It's a tremendous fan base, one of the best in the country.
Trey White's got 4. Williams puts it on the deck, off the window, too strong. Offensive rebound and a foul, and that's Huntley-Hatfield. He's had a nice first half with 8 points and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, he's active, and I like that he moves and he's up on the glass when they don't look to him enough. He should get a few more touches just to, get him involved in the offense and present a threat, maybe even go inside and then back outside for the open shot.
ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum. Weekdays from Mark's Charlotte studio, which is in his basement. It's at 4 Eastern. We'll keep talking college football. Bowl season gets underway this Saturday. We'll have the latest from around the ACC. Hoop season. We're getting close to the end of non-conference, and league play about to get started in earnest here as we get toward the end of the month.
That's Pac's basement. Next time I'm in Charlotte, I might have to go over and visit. That's a pretty nice basement.
He's got a nice setup.
Yeah, he's got a good show, too, and keeps us all informed throughout the season. The ACC Network has a ton of great shows. Enjoyed it during the football season for sure, and now into the hoop stuff. And Arkansas State continues to play a lot of players. They run in and out. They want to try to run you up and down the floor, and Louisville seems to have picked up the pace a little bit in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
And checking into the game for Arkansas, LaQuill Hardnett. He's a stretch 4, cleared to play. Buffalo transfer. They feel he can bring another dimension to this offense. It's an Arkansas State team. They've dealt with some injuries this year. Guys like Obadiah Curtis and Malcolm Farrington, both out for the year. Caleb Fields missed a couple of games after suffering a concussion. Terrence Ford was supposed to be a starting guard. He's out. They're not sure when he'll be back.
Brian Hodgson absolutely likes Hartnett a lot. This is how we play. We need a good stretch 4 on the floor at all times.
Feltz wanted the 3. It's not there. And they get the other 3 off the wing in Arkansas State with a 2-point lead in the final 4 minutes of the first half.
Good offense that time, and Louisville a little late on the closeout on the perimeter.
Caleb Fields now with 10 points. Huntley-Hatfield with 11 to lead all scores for Louisville. James ran into a double team. Clark catch and release, not there. Louisville over from 3-point range. They've missed all 6. Feltz. That 3 rims out. Clark has the rebound.
Good driving kick by Arkansas State for the open 3-point shooter.
Cards cough it up right away. White the block from behind, and will get a foul on the floor before the shot.
Arkansas State wants to push the pace. They're going to get to the rim in transition. If not, they will take the deep three with the early lead.
So first half, Arkansas State on the road leading Louisville. The Red Wolves only have one win in 10 tries against current members of the ACC. And that came back in 1953 when Florida State, who's a current member, was then an independent. Three-point shooting in the spotlight today, Tim Welsh. Arkansas State came in making almost 10 per game. Louisville, pretty good defending the three. Neither team shot it well from three tonight.
No, the defense has been pretty good, especially by Arkansas State on the perimeter. Sometimes Louisville's a little impatient, tries to take the quick three. When they move the ball, they've had open looks, and Arkansas State has been trying to dribble drive to the rim quite a bit tonight against Louisville's set defense, and they've had some success.
It's an Arkansas State team that has played a heavyweight schedule so far. Wisconsin, Iowa, Alabama. Clark has 6, contested jumper. Jovanovic the offensive rebound.
Louisville is quick to the ball off the glass.
+5 on the boards. Clark nearly turned it over. Hoists a three. And the rebound loose underneath. Arkansas State on the baseline. Falling out of bounds. Hardnett, his first game of the year.
Now that's a frustration possession for Brian Hodgson, because his team has been playing very good defense on the first shot, but the problem has been on the glass.
Clark through the double team, tried to split it, and Arkansas State right now just can't hang on to the basketball.
Again, though, that was a forced opportunity by Clark. Just kind of put his head down with nowhere to go and just threw it up on the rim.
Kenny Payne's challenge to Sky Clark, hey, we know you're a natural scorer. For this team to take the next step, we need you to facilitate, we need you to lead, and we need you to be more vocal. Now they'll go to the monitor here. They want to see if the ball hit the rim. Louisville has missed its last 7 shots and 9 of the last 11. Ball did not hit the rim, so no shot clock reset. Here's Trey White off the inbounds, and finally Hardnett able to corral the rebound.
Another quick contested shot. They had plenty of time to work the ball, but again, impatient.
Todd with an off-balance shot at the other end. Clark out of control. Jovanovic down low, got tied up, and they'll call a foul. Now you're seeing some of the rust, Tim, with LaQuill Hardnett making his first appearance of the season.
Yeah, they need to get him some minutes, though. It was debated whether Brian Hodgson was going to play him tonight at all, but I think he just wants to get him out there, get him in some sort of rhythm, and get that rust off that you just spoke about.
Jovanovic seeing some extended minutes so far in this first half. That was the 8th team foul on Arkansas State. Todd 0 for 5. He is Arkansas State's leading scorer. And still without a field goal. White with a nice bounce pass, and Huntley-Hatfield getting 2 more shots. He's been the bright spot offensively and defensively for Louisville.
Nice job running to the rim, and that extra pass. If Louisville just makes that effort to make the extra pass, they certainly have enough guys that can score.
A dozen points now for Huntley-Hatfield in his second season with Louisville. Former five-star who began his career at Tennessee.
One time, straight in.
Gets them both.
Pretty active on this set defensively, doing a good job of pressuring the basketball, rotating, and communicating.
Felts catch and shoot. Rebound to James. White, little hesitation. Clark, the baseline drive. Good ball movement. Comes back to James. Drive into the basket and one.
And right there, Anish. That's the best back-to-back possessions from one end of the floor to the other that Louisville has had all night long. On the defensive end, they played connected as one, and then they pushed the ball up the court. They didn't force the issue. They reversed the ball twice, drove it to the rim on opportunity. For Fields to try to dribble drive in the gap off the high screen.
Final 5 seconds. Fields with 10, lost it, out of bounds. It will stay with Arkansas State. So these are your specialty plays now. Baseline inbounds, 1.4 seconds left. Brian Hodson will take the use it or lose it timeout, and so will we.
SoFi is helping me get my money right to achieve my ambitions. Want to see? Like saving for the ultimate tailgate setup. With SoFi checking and savings, I pay no account fees and earn a competitive APY. SoFi can help you fund all your ambitions, no matter how big or small. Hey, ready? Right. Like investing in the athletes of tomorrow.
Anish Ruff, Tim Welsh, coach. These are the situations you practice. Baseline, inbounds. Not a lot of time left either on the game clock or the shot clock.
Catch and shoot situation. Try to run some diversion, weak side, quick step out, and then maybe a back screen to the rim.
Felts, shot blocked. It is Huntley-Hatfield, and Louisville goes into halftime with a 2-point lead. Thanks to Big 17 against UAB. Tylor Johnson making his first start of his career. Top 100 freshman kicks to James. Battle for the rebound are won by Arkansas State. They like to attack in the early offense if it's there. Dominguez. Nifty move, too much.
He's got to look to make that extra pass when he does dribble drive in the paint and Louisville collapses. There should be someone open on the perimeter.
Baseline drive, Johnson, too strong. Nelson cleans.
Good move by Johnson. He just took his eye off the rim, and again, just right to the rim for Arkansas State with no resistance.
Darian Ford, he was an Arkansas transfer, two-time Arkansas Gatorade Player of the Year and a former top 100 recruit.
This is what Arkansas State to begin the game, Anish. They just spread the floor and off the bounce went right by Louisville, and then the extra pass for the throwdown.
Nelson just picked up his third foul. A lot of standing around. Huntley-Hatfield from the baseline. The rebound comes to Fields. And his man fell down. Here's White the other way. Numbers for Louisville. White all the way and lays it in. We're tied at 33.
Good job by White. Just the presence of mind to see that Arkansas State was kind of jogging back after that quick turnover.
Nelson comes out to set the high screen. Fields doesn't want it. Instead, the drive, and he's fouled by Johnson, and that's 3 on the freshman.
Johnson's pressuring the ball probably a little bit too tightly on the outside. Fields is the veteran senior. Johnson's the freshman, and kind of overplayed right at the midcourt line. And Fields just got an angle and got all the way to the rim.
Fields a 59% free throw shooter this season, 71 for his career.
Arkansas State. Number 1, Curtis Williams, back in for the Cardinals.
Well, Brian Hodgson told us how valuable Caleb Fields is to his team, and you see it tonight. He runs the show, gets everyone involved, but when he needs to go get a bucket, he finds a way to get to the rim.
And when we asked him about the way his offense played against UAB, he said that was our offense with a point guard, and that point guard is Fields. As we get another foul on Arkansas State, it's LeCoux, and that's his third.
At the line for the Cards, Huntley-Hatfield. He'll shoot 2.
That was a good road win for Arkansas State over UAB, and they feel like they can compete in their conference, once they get everybody on board and healthy. Certainly the Sun Belt is some quality teams, and James Madison and Appalachian State.
Yeah. And the reality for Brian Hodgson is it's likely a one-bid league, so why not beef up your non-conference schedule, find out what your team is made of, play against the best so you are better equipped for league play, because again, in all likelihood, it's going to come down to the conference tournament.
It is, but there's got to be a balance there as well, because of the fact that you don't want to play too many of them, and then you get that kind of that feeling that we can't compete, and that kind of can trickle into the conference play if you're not careful. So there's got to be some sort of balance where you find some games that you can be competitive in, and then, of course, you go on the road and play Power 5 schools like Louisville.
Got to sprinkle in a few directional states, don't you?
Absolutely. Because the bottom line, too, is at the end of the day, your fans, your supporters, your administration, they're going to look at your record, and they're not going to remember who you beat. They're going to look at how many you won.
Looking at the monitor to see if there was a shot clock issue. Dominguez green lights it. Tap back. It comes to Fields. On the low block, that's Freddie Hicks going to work, and he gets rewarded with 2 shots.
Freddie Hicks is an energizer for Arkansas State. Just that rebound and forced his way to the rim.
And he's able to get the free throw. Last year in a game against Belmont, he set the single game D1 record with 28 free throw attempts.
Some hard hat work.
If you were coaching against him, you would have been double technicaled and been out of there by the 12-minute mark of the second half.
It's Brian Hodgson says he's disputing a couple fouls himself.
2 on Hardnett. You ever coached in a game where the opposing player got every call?
No, but I've coached in a game where the the opposing team got every call. or so I felt.
Well, you spent some time on the bench with Boeheim, so we've all seen his expression anytime a foul is called on his team.
Well, we did go to Rutgers one night when we were at Providence, and the second half free throw attempts were 27-2. And I kind of felt like that wasn't fair, but, you know, it didn't matter what I felt.
Well, have you seen Tommy DeVito's agent? Rutgers is in New Jersey. I'm just saying, Tim, there might have been more there.
Yeah, you know, you never know. Tommy DeVito, what a story. You're a Jersey guy.
I'm a Jersey guy.
I want to go down to a Giants game just to go to the tailgate his family puts on. It looked pretty tasty, but we'll talk about that another time.
Little pressure now by Louisville. Hicks thought about the three, instead finds the open man down low. It's Hardman.
Open, wide open. There was no one within 5 feet of him, and he's standing right next to the rim. And Louisville, just again, the lack of communication and rotation on the pick and roll.
Who is that on?
It's on all the players, because obviously they've been taught how to defend the pick and roll. I mean, if you're going to double the pick and roll, somebody has to rotate down, and doubling the middle pick and roll is very difficult, especially if Arkansas State is spread out like they are.
Terrific move by White, swooping to the rim. Again in the paint, again. The two for the Red Wolves, getting inside at will.
Well, they're doing what Brian Hodgson wants. Louisville's taking away the three, but they're not guarding the ball at all. They're just not in a stance, and Arkansas State's getting all the way to the rim.
And then a tough contested shot for White, who wanted a foul. Arkansas State's largest lead of the game was 7. Fields, the basket, the foul, and a chance to extend to 7 with the free throw.
Well, Arkansas State has found something, and they're going to keep going to the well until Louisville. State, the veteran point guard, making plays for himself, off the bounce, defending the ball at the top, making open shots, running the team. He's been one of the main reasons that Arkansas State has this lead, playing with a lot of confidence for Brian Hodgson.
That's your savvy floor general, a 5-year starter, a 5th-year senior, guy who can score and dish, and he's done a little bit of both tonight. 14 points, 5 assists, and out of bounds, last touch Louisville, so Arkansas State, with a field goal here, would take its largest lead of the game. Hicks, they are taking the ball to the basket with no regard right now.
Well, Louisville's not forcing it to one side or another. They're playing everybody straight up. No one's in good help position, and they're not moving their feet off the bounce.
Largest lead of the game for the Red Wolves. White contested. It comes to Hicks. There's the three. And Arkansas State with a double-digit lead. Freddie Hicks from the outside. It's 49-38. Red Wolves looking for their first Power 5 win in Summerall State, where he played for Billy Gillespie. His dad, the late Freddie Hicks Sr., played on the 1999 Arkansas State team that went to the NCAA tournament. Only Red Wolves team in program history to do so, and Dad still holds the school record for blocked shots. And Hicks tonight, 14 points, 6 of 11 from the field. Arkansas State with an 11-point lead on the road against Louisville.
Well, he's adjusted well. Brian Hodgson said he's still trying to get comfortable in this system because it's obviously a different system than they played at Tarleton State, more of a set offense, pull it out, run plays. Then you can see Arkansas State, they don't pull it out much, they attack. And tonight he is playing at that high level of speed and pace.
Tylor Johnson in there with the 3 fouls, drives to the rim, gets the 2, and that snaps a 9-0 run by the Red Wolves.
I think Kenny Payne's trying to get him more minutes if he can just adjust defensively, but his defense hasn't been that horrible. He's just fouling a little bit too much, but he does do a good job of running the team.
Fields, guarded by the freshman, veteran and Greenhorn. Down the lane, Hicks again. A game-high 16 for the junior.
Nice job by Hicks, just sliding into the lane. And Arkansas State making that extra pass if Louisville overhelps.
There's Johnson off balance with a nice balance.
He's very good off the dribble, a natural point guard, which Louisville desperately needs.
Ford using the shot fake. They are attacking the paint. They do it again. Dominguez denied.
Good rotation on that possession by White.
And White gets tripped by Ford.
On number 3, Darian Ford, his first 16 foul. In the game for Arkansas State, 35 Nelson, replacing Marquette.
Tim, for Louisville, a path back into this game is the free throw line.
It is. It's the free throw line and the offensive glass, but they've got to play a lot better defense in the half court.
One more foul. Arkansas State would pick up its 7th and put Louisville in the bonus. Clark rejected. 3-on-2 for Arkansas State ahead of the pack. The tip is there by Dominguez on the second try.
The tip, the re-tip, and Arkansas State running at 1 speed, Louisville running at half speed, coming back on defense.
Here comes Johnson trying to be a spark plug. White, it's off the hands of Huntley-Hatfield. 8th turnover for Louisville.
Well, you talked about Louisville getting back in this game, but you've got to play with some desperation. You're down 11 points on your home court to a team that's 3-7. And that last possession, Niche, give them 3 shots at the basket before you saw any black jerseys get back into the picture to help out.
3 not there. Neither team has shot it well from deep. Arkansas State 4 of 18. Louisville 0 for 9. Not even looking for a 3. James looking down low. It's knocked out of bounds. Clark using the shot fake. Passes out of a double team. 15 to shoot. White, the dribble drive. He gets that one, but Tim, that's kind of been the story for Louisville. It seems one guy trying to be the hero instead of moving the ball and making the extra pass.
Well, that will never work against ACC defenses, that's for sure. White's very talented. That was a very good move, but everyone's got to get involved, and you see it in their assist-to-turnover ratio. It's just not good enough.
Meanwhile, everything falling for Arkansas State, a chance for a 3-point play. The Red Wolves, they track blue-collar points. They've got a hard hat. More on that when we come back.
He had 4 blue-collar points in the first half. He had 15 in the second half. That's big time.
Arkansas State hands out the Hard Hat Award, and it goes to the player who racks up the most blue-collar points in a game. What are blue-collar points? Well, different point values for deflections, steals, blocks, rebounds, loose balls. If you draw a charge, that counts as 4 points.
I like it. I like it a lot. You know, back in the day, we used to give out a few I don't know, M&Ms or something if you had the most charges or time on the floor. But it's a good system. You know, anything to motivate your players. I like what Brian Hodgson's doing a lot. I mean, he's gonna get this program back up towards the top of the Sun Belt in no time. I like this team too. If they can get healthy, this team can compete in the top part of the Sun Belt.
Yeah, for a while they were playing with only 8 scholarship players. Starting to get some reinforcements. Caleb Fields, obviously the big one. LaQuill Hardnett has made his debut tonight as Johnson misses the jumper. And right now, Louisville, you look at what they've done offensively. In this case, stats tell the story. 16 made baskets, only 3 assists. Fields the drive and kick. This is ball movement. Felts, back iron, tipped into the air. Another second chance for the Red Wolves.
Well, the Red Wolves have cleaned up their glass, too, and that's been important because that's how Louisville stayed in the game in the first half. They got up on the offensive glass, but right now, the defense has been an issue.
Hicks 3 rims out. Arkansas State plus 12 in points in the paint. They have been driving at the rim almost at will in the second half, and Huntley-Hatfield, that's 2 or 3 times now in this half he's had trouble securing the basketball.
Yeah, it was a little tight in there. The pass was a little behind him. It's tough for that big guy to catch that ball in traffic off the bounce, but at least they're trying to get him involved.
Hicks, Dominguez, doubled, and they'll call a jump ball. Possession arrow to Louisville.
Number 6 Todd in for Arkansas State. Back in for the Cardinals, Mike James and Trey White.
Kenny Payne, just a lot of subbing, just trying to find that right combination that can get them back in this game. And it's kind of what he faced when they were at DePaul. Just came out with no real intensity on defense and tried to find that right unit down the stretch, but they got back in the game, but it was too late.
With just the 4th assist of the night for Louisville. And it's Huntley-Hatfield who's got 16. Tyler Johnson with the helper. Arkansas State up 10 on the road against Louisville, and the ball handler, Taron Todd, the team's leading scorer, without a point tonight, 0 for 6 from the field. Felts working on the taller Clark. Gives it up to Dominguez. Shot clock down to 5. Tough shot in traffic. Offensive rebound, Nelson. Putback is there. 13 for Isaiah Nelson.
Isaiah Nelson is a bouncy forward. He's very active in the paint and on the glass. And right now, Arkansas State's pretty much doing anything they want.
Trey White, the pull-up. Louisville has only attempted 1 3-pointer in the second half. They have not hit one tonight, 0 for 9. Dominguez sweeps in, uncontested. Arkansas State with its largest lead of the game.
SoFi is helping me get my money right to achieve my ambitions. With SoFi checking and savings, I pay no account fees and earn a competitive APY.
I'm Sarah Esrich. I'm the Life Enrichment Director at Independence Village. Our goal with TikTok was to enrich the lives of our residents.
I mean, we're the ones that are being entertained. Time goes fast when you're having fun.
Well, Tim, maybe the most shocking stat tonight, points in the paint. Arkansas State a team from the Sun Belt that was 3-7 entering play. They're plus 16 in that department.
Well, it's pretty obvious what's happening is that they've spaced the court, they're reversing the ball, and then they're going. And they're going one-on-one. It's just basically, I've got the ball, try to guard me, and they're not guarding. They're not guarding the basketball. And then there's no rotation or sense of urgency on the backside to even put somebody on the foul line. Just layup after layup against a set 5-man half-court defense.
Johnson blocked by Nelson. Meanwhile, Louisville trying to go ISO, trying to go one on Arkansas State.
Well, the difference is that Arkansas State's going one-on-one too after some ball movement and player movement, but then there's no rotation.
And you're watching the ball rotation here. Dominguez defended by James. Shot clock at 4. Long 3, front rim. Battle for the board. It comes to Huntley-Hatfield, his 10th rebound. Clark kicks it out to James. No pass on the 3. And James will have a chance at the 3 the old-fashioned way. Louisville trims the deficit to 12. James with a chance to get it. And it is number 14, Notre Dame, winners of 7 straight, going up against Purdue at the Joyce Center. And Hannah Hidalgo setting college basketball on fire in the early part of the season. Just a freshman, averaging 24 points per game, 6 steals per game. She scored 20 or more in all but 1 game so far, at 31 in her first collegiate game, which, oh, by the way, Tim, was against national power South Carolina.
Well, I'd have the fever too watching her play. There's no doubt about it. You love that defense, that on ball, off the ball, and you don't see that in any level. 6 steals per game.
In 1 game against NJIT, 12 steals in 1 game. Meanwhile, Mike James has cut it to 11 with the free throw.
Now Louisville into a 2-3 zone. See how they react to that and how the shifts are.
Nice pass, Dominguez out to Feltz. Tim, you saw how Arkansas State attacked it. It was textbook. You get the ball into the painted area, kick it out, make a decision quickly. Clark out of control, turns it over. Here come the Red Wolves. Let's see if they shoot before that zone sets up. No, they'll pull it back. Dominguez, the drive, the kick. In the painted area, no, the flush by Nelson.
Backside of that zone just collapsed and got into the middle, into the teeth, put it up on the rim, and then nobody rotated down on the rebound. 15
points for Nelson. Too shy of a career high he set in his last game. Huntley-Hatfield against the double team, and he gets fouled. It's on Dominguez, his 3rd.
You see the zone here. It's kind of spread out, but nobody rotates down. You see Clark is late on the backside to put any pressure on the offense.
That's actually the 4th foul on Dominguez. 7 points, 10 rebounds for the junior from Providence, Rhode Island, a UMass transfer. And Huntley-Hatfield has been busy. His 11th free throw of the night is good. He's made 9, 16 points to go along with 11 rebounds tonight. 4-guard lineup in there for Arkansas State. They lead by 11.
We'll go back in the man-to-man, trying to put a little pressure on the perimeter and all the way to the rim.
Again, the points in the paint tilted heavily toward Arkansas State, plus 16. And Tim, the lack of a three-point shot, the lack of even a threat of a three-point attempt. You've got Arkansas State sagging their defense in, so when Louisville tries to drive, there's a lot of congestion. On the other end, the Red Wolves hit from the outside, and the lead is 16 with less than 6 to play.
Well, again, this has been the story the entire second half. I thought Louisville had kind of cured what was ailing them at the beginning of the game. They just didn't come out with any defensive intensity to start this game. Arkansas State was comfortable, and then the second half, they just totally have not played any defense in the half court.
Louisville led by 2 at halftime. Arkansas State has its largest lead of the game. They're shooting 53% from the field in the second half, and Caleb Fields has done it. He's scored, and he's handed out 8 assists.
Well, he's played hard. He's played the right way. He can run the team. He can make shots on the outside. He rarely forces the issue. He's a good on-ball defender, and in the last 7 or 8 minutes, he has been very, very aggressive to the rim because Louisville is just letting him dribble drive from the top of the key all the way to the rack.
If you're Kenny Payne, what's the message after this game where, again, a team that does not have the same level of talent that you do, a team that was, again, 3-7, they play in the Sun Belt with all due respect, and they're essentially driving right at you at will, getting to the rim, and a lot of these baskets have been uncontested. What do you say if you're Kenny Payne?
It's lack of character. They're not playing hard. That's all, plain and simple. I mean, you can have off shooting nights. You can have a night where you don't make a three. Maybe they're not that skilled offensively as a passing team. You see that. They don't have really great shooters, so they have to find a way to get the ball to the rim. But they need more player movement, more ball movement. You see, even on this possession, poor spacing on the weak side. Luckily, they've tried to go into Huntley-Hatfield, and he's delivered for them, but they've ignored it. They ignore him on too many possessions. But the issue is down the other end. You cannot let just a guard from 25 feet away against a set defense drive from outside the three-point line and get right to the rim with 0 resistance, and that's been the issue. And it hasn't just happened one time or a few times. It's happened numerous times.
20 points, 11 rebounds for Brandon Huntley-Hatfield. Louisville picks up full court.
He needs to try anything. Trap, gamble. Get the foul on the sideline.
Tyler Johnson picks up foul number 4. He fouled out last time out against DePaul. Curtis Williams guarding Fields, another blow by, and another chance at a three-point play.
Caleb Fields has been a man that will remember this night. He won't have a lot of nights like this where he just can go from 20 feet away and get all the way to the rim with 0 resistance.
Again, not even trying the three. Johnson throws it up, rebounded by Nelson.
Well, Louisville, to your point, Anish, has become very predictable on the offensive end. Pretty much whoever gets it on the first or second pass can put their head down and go to the rim. They're not trying to drive and kick at all. And Arkansas State smartly has adjusted their defense, and they send the second and third defender to the paint on the drive to prevent any open looks.
Shot clock down to 1, and that's a shot clock violation. And that's been the difference with Arkansas State, even when they are driving to the basket. You brought up the point earlier. They do it after moving the ball and getting guys moving defensively so those lanes open up.
Absolutely. It's basketball one-on-one. Move the ball, move the players, then attack.
Williams 3 not there. Louisville 0 for 10 from 3. They have made at least 1 3 in 271 consecutive games. Todd, completely uncontested again.
Well, this is embarrassing for Louisville. I mean, this is really, they're not even trying on defense right now. It's just they're not organized. Arkansas State just runs the ball down the court. Whoever gets it after the second or third pass puts their head down and gets all the way to the rim.
Louisville does not have a field goal in almost 4 minutes. For the game, only 4 assists, coupled with 9 turnovers. Last year was forgettable, 4-28. One of the worst seasons by any ACC team ever. And it was the fewest wins for Louisville since they went 2-14 back in the 1940-1941 season. Year 2 brought some more hope. You brought in some talented freshmen, top 100 players, impact transfers like Sky Clark and Trey White. Yes, J.J. Traynor is out today, and they do miss him. He was a game-time decision with a shoulder injury. But there's no way around being down 18 to a team from the Sun Belt who's 3-7 with 3:41 left.
SoFi is helping me get my
71-53, and that is not a typo with 3:41 to go. Bourbon consumption might be high in Louisville tonight. Cardinals also without a 3-point field goal. The last time that happened, you got to go back to 2015. And what's shocking, Tim Welsh, is when you look at Louisville through the first 9 games, yeah, they're 4-5, and there's a loss to Chattanooga in there, but they almost beat Texas. Should have won that game. They were right there with Indiana. They played well on the road at Virginia Tech, came up a little short in Blacksburg. Last time out, the DePaul game, that was not as close as the final score leads you to believe. And then today, you mentioned it, just a lack of effort on the defensive side, poor shot selection on the offensive side. They were taking the ball to the basket without really getting other players involved. And then the last few possessions, desperation time, just hoisting up bad 3-point shots.
Well, just getting beat as they are, and again, right there on that possession, just one-on-one basketball. Not moving their feet, not playing angles, basically ignoring the defensive end of the floor.
Taron Todd is at the free throw line. He was scoreless in the first half. He's Arkansas State's leading scorer, 1 for 8. But he gets both free throws on his 4th school in 5 seasons, having the best year of his career. Started at TCU, then New Mexico, junior college, before ending up in Jonesboro.
The amazing thing, Anish, is Louisville had a 2-point lead at halftime. And they came out of the locker room just with no enthusiasm and no real game plan defensively.
And they keep the 3-point streak alive as Tyler Johnson gets Louisville's first triple, now 1 for 13 from downtown. I know for Louisville fans, this is a bitter pill to swallow. There have been a lot of low points the last couple of seasons, but in year 2 of the Kenny Payne regime, to lose at home again to a 3-17 from the Sun Belt, it just feels like a gut punch to where you thought this team might be headed in year 2 after some of those competitive losses that we talked about.
Right, and obviously you come off of an ACC loss on the road. That's nothing to be embarrassed about. You go to DePaul and lose to a really poor DePaul team, though, then you've got some issues. And obviously Trainer's not here, but is he really the difference maker? Is he going to get out there and be the gritty guy on the defensive end of the floor? I'm not sure, and that's where their issue is. The shot selection, number 1, and the ability just to care about defense.
Tyler Johnson fouls out, finishes with 8 points.
And listen,
they're going to have to do some soul searching here. You got Pepperdine, and then you got the game against Kentucky, which is going to be nationally televised on ESPN.
Well, those are the issues. It's not that simple, because if you've got a group of guys that aren't committed to play the right way, then you've got to do more than soul searching. You've got to find a way to find that fire, find that special group, maybe tighten it up, maybe not play as many players. But give Arkansas State credit. You know, they came in here, they're very confident coming off that win over UAB. They're starting to get healthy. They've got a very good young up-and-coming coach who has a different style, a style that's hard to play against. And they came in and stuck to their game plan, and now they're being rewarded because they just took it to Louisville from the get-go. They were not afraid to come into this building tonight and attack.
Clark turned away by Nelson. Okorafor. Nelson had it. It went out of bounds off Fields. Zan Payne comes in. He is the son of head coach Kenny Payne, 10 in black. Both teams emptying their bench a little bit. Jovanovic throws it up. Okorafor drops it in.
Well, I like the young guard. Johnson looks like he can be a keeper for Kenny Payne. Obviously, Huntley-Hatfield has the ability, but you know, Sky Clark and Mike James, veteran players, Trey White, have been around a little bit. They've got to be the guys that step up and be vocal leaders and be upset about this. You know the coaches are upset about it, but do the players, are they upset? Are they willing to grind it out and do the extra to get you over the top? But this is a disappointing night for Louisville.
We're looking at one of the freshmen there, Caleb Glenn, the inbounder. Final 30 seconds. Arkansas State about to knock off Louisville by double digits as Hersey Miller hits the J. And again, the final score, even if Louisville gets this, you know, right around 12 or 10, whatever it ends up being, doesn't really tell the story of how Arkansas State just landed haymaker after haymaker on this Cardinals team in the second half. Louisville led by 2 at the break. Arkansas State shot 51% from the field after halftime. The Red Wolves scored 4.